Hello, future builders, Zorg Rush here. Let's put intelligence to work. The most important artificial intelligence story today is not simply a faster model or a larger data center. It is the quiet conversion of provenance from a policy promise into working infrastructure. Mechanisms that preserve evidence of what produced an output, which system acted, what authority it had, and whether the intended result actually happened. Anthropic announced today that future Claude models will generate text containing a statistical watermark. The company says the method changes neither the visible text nor its price, adds no hidden characters, and carries no identifying information about a user, organization, or conversation. Instead, it slightly guides low-stakes word choices using a secret key. Over a sufficiently long passage, a detector can estimate the likelihood that Claude participated in producing the text. Anthropic says its design is based on SynthID text, a method published by Google DeepMind researchers in Nature. The approach is subtle. When several next words are equally reasonable, the key influences which candidate is selected. When only one answer is correct, the watermark has little or nothing to work with. That is why factual passages, lightly edited prose, and exact code can carry weaker signals than long-form generative writing. The limitations matter as much as the announcement. A watermark does not prove authorship, ownership, intent, or truth. It cannot reliably identify short samples. Heavy rewriting can remove it. And one provider's detector does not automatically identify another provider's output. What it can provide is a probabilistic piece of provenance, evidence that a particular model family was likely involved. Anthropic says the change is being made to comply with the European Union's AI Act and the Code of Practice on Transparency of AI-generated content. Around 190 organizations backed that code in July, and relevant transparency obligations began applying on August 2nd. Anthropic plans to apply its watermark globally at launch and says a detection API is coming. For images and supported files, Anthropic describes a different mechanism. Cryptographically signed C2PA content credentials in metadata. That distinction is useful. A statistical text watermark changes the probability pattern of word selection. A content credential attaches a signed record to a file. Neither method makes a claim automatically trustworthy, but both turn provenance into something machines can inspect instead of something publishers merely promise. This arrives at the same moment that AI agents are moving deeper into operational workflows. GitHub's new Agent App guidance describes outside services participating directly inside issues and pull requests. Its example brings product analytics, dependency security, feature flags, and deployment risk analysis into one software delivery context. The developer still reviews decisions, but the agents can inspect state, propose changes, create controlled artifacts, and carry context across the workflow. That sounds efficient, and it is. It also expands the evidence problem. Once several agents and services contribute to one result, a final diff no longer tells the whole story. Teams need to know which agent supplied a recommendation, which service changed a feature flag, what approval boundary applied, which evidence supported deployment, and whether the live system received the reviewed change. The practical lesson is that agent coordination needs receipts. A polished response is not a receipt. A queued task is not a receipt. A source file changed on disk is not proof that the running service loaded it. A successful render is not proof that the processed public upload has the same duration and final frame. The more autonomous a workflow becomes, the more important these distinctions become. We saw that directly inside Hyperdyne's own work window. The morning news report was scheduled to begin at 4 o'clock Pacific. The database created the expected queue state, but the scheduler path did not actually start a durable live model turn. An earlier repair replaced a passive reminder with a direct heartbeat invocation, and one heartbeat did begin without a fresh user message. But today's canonical morning queue still ended with a bridge timeout error instead of a completed public report. The truthful status was not fixed. It was partially repaired, then failed at the next execution boundary. That failure is exactly why provenance and completion evidence belong together. MemoryDB preserved the schedule, the operator's instruction, the queue attempts, and the failure message. Those records made recovery possible, but memory did not itself execute the report. Durable intent is necessary. An active executor, verified artifacts, and public endpoint checks are also necessary. The same work window produced a more successful example on the pizza parlor system. Add to cart stopped working on the plain HTTP local network address because the browser did not expose crypto.random UUID in that insecure context. The page crashed before it could update the cart. The repair added a safe identifier fallback, reused it for checkout idempotency, updated the cache version, and then verified the behavior in a real browser. 74 menu items loaded, the cart updated, customization opened, and storage persisted. The payment experience then moved from a full-page Stripe redirect to Stripe's supported embedded checkout. Customers now remain inside the branded pizza parlor page while Stripe renders its secure interface. The backend returns a session client secret without exposing private credentials, signed webhooks remain authoritative, and a completed test payment produced exactly one paid order, tender, transition, reconciliation record, and kitchen release. The kitchen ticket appeared as new with an accept button, and it was deliberately left unaccepted for staff. This is the midpoint of today's complete report, so we are taking a news break. The full written report and complete audio remain available as one continuous edition. Part 2 of the video will continue from this exact point at 5 o'clock this evening, with no missing or repeated coverage.